Glad to know you're still with us. Well, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has filed a lawsuit against the federal government for labeling his group as a terrorist organization. In the suit marked E20 2023 and filed by Kanu's special counsel, Aloy Ejimako, the IPOB leader is seeking an order that self-determination is not a crime and consequently cannot be held on to arrest, detain and prosecute him and the members of IPOB. Aside from the federal government, other respondents are the President, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice and the Governor of Ebonyi State, as well as the Southeast governors. Well, this is our next focus, and Dr. Dayo Kayode is still with us on the phone. Thank you for staying with us, Dr. D.
Yes, my pleasure always.
I'd like to get your first reaction to this move by the leader of IPOB to sue the federal government for prescribing IPOB as a terrorist organization.
Number one, as federal government not prescribed IPOB, either wrongly or rightly. Because if you remember the other time when federal government prescribed IPOB, I say, why should federal government prescribe IPOB? Not that I'm supporting, but we are talking of the law of the land. As federal government not prescribed IPOB, I want the viewers to answer that. Two, when you're talking of blackmailing the leader of IPOB by the Attorney General of the Federation when it was claimed that he put it in the paper that the leader Nnamdi jumped bail. The question again is, did he jump bail or not? Alright? Because I could remember the other time when he was released from bail and he was in his village. I think the army went there on one operation or the other. And that was when he left Nigeria. I wouldn't use the word flag. He left Nigeria to maybe UK or thereabout, but he was not in the country. And he could not appear for his cases until when he was brought in again from Kenya. So what are you talking about? Again, when I read that thing yesterday, it was in a particular newspaper that particular story was, according to the report. But they are now demanding apology from two different other newspapers. Does that show any seriousness? They are even demanding it from the newspaper that brought the issue up in the first instance. So these are things that one needs to consider whether what is even putting forth.
But let's look at the basis on which he is raising. Let's look at the basis on which he is filing this suit, saying that it is against the 1999 subsection 42 of the 1999 Constitution, saying that the federal government doesn't have a right to prescribe them as a terrorist group. It means that this is apparently something that should hold water in the court of law, shouldn't it?
Well, they have been in the court of law before now. They have always been in the court of law with this issue of prescription. If you are quoting a section of the Constitution, there's another section of the Constitution now that says that if any association is going against the safety, they are doing things that are inimical to our safety, some association can be prescribed. Have we not been seeing a situation whereby NANS is being prescribed in this country? Have we never seen it before? But I instances whereby some organizations are being prescribed because they are being considered But the question me I'm putting forward is, how do you define security risk? Within that definition, can IPOB be seen as a security risk? Which for me, before some things, some occurrences in the Southeast were being ascribed to them, I have never seen IPOB as a security risk until, I wouldn't know whether they are the one really or not, because I wasn't there. But at least
there are allegations.
the news I gathered, some things have been alleged to have been committed by IPOB. But before then, I don't know why federal government should prescribe them because of the security risk. But the issue is, the federal government has prescribed it.
Yes.
And the federal government is still the government of the land that has the final say. In Yoruba, they say, Oba Paluri Umbubu. Oba Paluri Umbubu. That is, the king has powers over everything. So, if you are looking at it from that premise,
well,
the courts will be there to give judgment.
But that premise can only hold water if it's a monarchical system of government. What we operate is a presidential system of government, and that those who tell you that there's the place of freedom of association. Now, we know quite well about the prescription and all, but they are still trying to fight that the prescription is even wrong to start with, or illegal, as it were. So the question is, do you really think this lawsuit against the government and Southeast governors really holds water? Do you think they can win in court?
Yes, I'm saying, yes, truly, we have fundamental human rights. Okay? Freedom of association. But have you also forgotten that where your freedom stops is where the other person starts from? Are you also aware of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you're not using your freedom of association to breach laws and orders of the land, if you are using your freedom of association to cause security breach, you know that freedom can be taken away from you. Are you also aware?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not saying that is what IPOB is. But in the purview of the government came up with some issues and then stamped it on IPOB and they start to prescribe it. So even when you go to the law court, you can't win the case. When you go to the law court, because the government will also prove their case on this. If you go to past interviews of mine on this IPOB prescription,
yes,
you know that I never supported it for once. But we are looking at another angle now. Which is the case that is in court as regards 2 billion lawsuits.
Yes.
Do you understand? So, I doubt it. If IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, I doubt it if he can win that case.
Well, we've seen the reluctance of the federal government when it comes to prescribing, so to speak, violent organizations. We saw how long it took for them to prescribe the Boko Haram sect as a terrorist organization, and the several calls for them to prescribe the Fulani herdsmen who have been attacking farmers and displacing them from their farms. We saw how actually that actually panned out, and it looks like prescribing IPOB was quite fast and easy, and that is why a lot of people from different quarters have been saying that perhaps there are some political, ethnic undertones to this prescription. Do you see it from that light?
Yeah, you see, when you're looking at that prescription, I was among those clamoring for prescription of even Boko Haram rather than IPOB. at that time. But along the line, you find out some of security breaches in the southeast being allegedly, I'm using the word allegedly, and I want it underlined, by IPOB. If truly, again, if truly they are being perpetrated by IPOB, there is no point why it should not be prescribed.
But those actions came after they were prescribed, Dr. D. Those allegations,
Yes.
they came after IPOB was already prescribed. Before they were prescribed, they were always talking about the fact that they were not violent.
Government will tell you that they have seen that 1, 2, 3, 4 is about to happen if IPOB is not prescribed. I mean, there are so many ways the way government will put it. Again, some of us now proposed that if IPOB can be prescribed, why not Boko Haram? Why not Boko Haram and all these people that are killing?
In fact, it took the international community to prescribe Boko Haram in Nigeria.
You say what?
It took the intervention of the international community before the federal government could prescribe Boko Haram.
Yes, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And that is why I said at that time that look, the prescription of IPOB at that time is laced with some form of sentimentality. All right? It's laced with some form of sentimentality. And that's the truth. But it's so unfortunate that IPOB later on were being alleged to be committing some form of security breaches.
Well, I think we can bring this home here. Let's hear your final thoughts on this issue, especially how your predictions as regards this whole lawsuit.
Yes, while I will not be able to give any prediction because one, I'm not a lawyer, I've never been to court before, neither do I have a judge around me, so it will be difficult for me to predict. But rather, I can just advise the both federal government and Nnamdi Kanu to come together and let us see the kind of an understanding in how to solve this imbroglio between Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government on one hand, the federal government and IPOB leadership on the other hand, so that we can have respite from all these problems happening in the southeast. There's no doubt about that. Nigeria at this moment needs that unity to be able to forge ahead as a nation.
Well, thank you for your sterling contribution, as always, Dr. Dayo Kayode, political technocrat. Thank you for joining us on iBrand Daybreak today.
Thank you, Omobolale. Samson, thank you too.
Thank you so much.
You guys, a great day ahead.
Have a good day too.